because my lives are always super random. It's Quantum Inner Child's personal story. Hello. Okay, and I'm going to pin my comment. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is random, as I feel like it's my soul blueprint just to be like random. But isn't intuition kind of... Okay, I'm back. I was paused. And Ramadan astrology. If you're still here, hi. I actually just recently posted that I did open some one-on-ones for the Quantum Inner Child work this month, if it resonates with you, if it interests you. But kind of just felt like, hi. Hi everyone. Sorry, there were some technical issues before, so I got kicked off. Good morning. I find that some of the most, for me at least, the most valuable integration into my own work is like hearing other people's stories within it. And so this is something that like just came up for me last night. I was doing my own class recording because why not? I think it's that good. But the Quantum Inner Child, and that's literally the work I do all day, every day, just within my own self, my limiting beliefs and like whatever. So I've been working through this course by Amanda Frances. I don't know if anyone's familiar with her. And I've done a lot of work around this, but just because of my upbringing and a lot of the trauma in my house and abuse and whatever, it's really hard. Really hard stuff. And I kept using these affirmations like, I am worthy of so much abundance and so much money, like all this stuff, and it still just felt so stuck, no matter how much I dug into limiting beliefs, no matter how much I talked to my own inner child. And so I did a little breath work, and then I felt called to just kind of do the class recording. And during the meditation part, I was in the field, and a little Kier came up to me, and she said, I'm really scared to receive. And I was like, why are you scared? And she said, and it wasn't so much words, but it kind of intuited in that something always happens. It's always something. And I got flooded with all of these memories of childhood, like the fights, the drama, the anxiety, the chaos of my parents being like, it's always something. Like life is, it's always something. And it was very connected with money because there was always talk of there's not enough. Like, no, like we're not going to have this food at Thanksgiving because we don't have money. Or no, like, sorry, like there's not going to be a Christmas tree this year. And like, for a child, that's like scary feeling, right? And it was like I would feel like kind of smooth sailing, safe in childhood, and then all of a sudden like something would be explosive. Like there was no stability. And although my mother did the best she could, there was a really intense lack of emotional stability, financial stability, honesty, physical affection stability. Like it would go from like normal mother physical affection to like physical violence. Being very transparent here. And so during the inner child work, it came up that this inner child is associating receiving finances as scary, because that means when things are good, something fucked up's gonna happen. The rug's gonna be ripped out from under me. And that's an energetic patterning, a very, very deep energetic patterning. And so within the work of like the money work with Amanda Frances, I was kind of jumping from a place of like, I'm so used to the ups, like, whoa, a lot of money, to the boom, something happens, a car accident, or my dog gets sick, or like, and then my savings are wiped out, right? So I'm relating this to money, but it doesn't necessarily have to be related to money. And so this energetic patterning has been so prevalent throughout so much of my life in so many different ways: relationships, friendships, finances, health. And I really hit this point of stability with friendship, relationship, and health, and my own emotional well-being. But it was still really playing itself out in finances. And it still is, it is. That's why, like, this literally just happened last night, this kind of like aha moment. And it just kind of is a testament, I believe, to the power of quantum inner child work, because this is where we get our patterning. This is what's playing out in our frequency. And you can do all of the affirmations, all of the energy work, all of the efforts. But if we don't go in and create a bridge between our present self, our higher self, and the inner child, it's really like the energy is not gonna expand or unstick. And to even like, I'm still kind of like, oh my God, like my inner child right now, this particular inner child that's really coming up, doesn't want abundance. She wants stability. To her, that's abundant. And for me to kind of skip over her, just not meaning to, not realizing, is abandoning an aspect of myself for what my mind believes I need, right? And that's what we do. We do it all the time. But the only way that we really can move into what we want and what we desire is by integrating the inner child who's afraid. She's afraid of abundance. It doesn't mean something's going to happen. It means there's going to be a down. It means that she is going to be hurt, physically, emotionally, abandoned. It means someone's going to leave, a partner. Her dog's going to die. I mean, these are real. This is what has happened. So this is like a really intense energetic patterning. And I don't know how it would have moved for me without the commitment to quantum inner child work. And so I just wanted to like encourage you to maybe see your patterning in that way. Because when there's a child scared, we're not like, get over it. Like, stop believing that. I need abundance. Like, that doesn't work, right? So my work with her is, oh, I understand. Yeah, you do deserve stability. because she's been teetering on, I know I'm worthy of just enough, and I know I'm worthy of the occasional windfalls of abundance. But beyond that, it's scary. It's going to get taken away. I don't even want to go there. I can't even imagine a lot of abundance, because then something real fucked up is going to happen. That's like what her patterning has been. And can I blame her for that? Yes, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I talk about that a lot with my therapist, and it's 100% valid. Yes, and I so believe that as children, a lot of us had childhoods where I wasn't sure if those needs were going to be met. Because when parents are really in their own spiral of like, my mom always saying, we're not going to be able to pay the mortgage, we're going to be on the streets, or no, you can't have that food, I don't have money. Her own stuff. You really feel that as a kid, that like feeling of unsafety and fear. And like, even like in adulthood this summer, I was like talking on the phone with my mom, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my meditation class went really well, like I'm so excited. And she goes into, oh, well, like, you really owe me like thousands of dollars. And I'm like, it's like windfall of abundance, and then it's just going to get ripped away, and it's a patterning. Ma'am, can I ask you something? Yes, but if it's weird, I don't know. Yes, you can ask me something. Sorry, I'm apprehensive because I've gotten a lot of very strange questions on here, and I apologize if I'm projecting onto you. So that's really it. If you hopped in late, I'm going to repost this. Honestly, it's pretty vulnerable. But, I think that's where we're going. I think that's how we heal. I think we, just be like, yeah, this is how fucked up I am. But, like, we're not, right? We're actually, like, really effing beautiful, and we're healing. And I believe so much of the healing work is in the inner child. Does anyone have any questions around that? Yeah, so the rainbow on your screen is a filter. It's a filter. They let you use filters on lives. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for holding space. It really was like an aha moment for me. It was huge for me. And I'm still just like, wow, like it's exciting, where I was like, oh my gosh, I was wondering why like these affirmations like weren't sticking. Is it weird if I feel not satisfied? Oh, of course it's not weird. You know what's weird is the conditioning that we question, like, because it's like we layer on this judgment of not feeling satisfied. And I would maybe work with the feeling of like, it's safe to not feel satisfied. Why do I think it's weird? Am I afraid of not being satisfied? First, like kind of explore like, what is not being satisfied, right? And then explore what it would mean to feel satisfied. Because even sometimes when we're sort of like, oh, I don't feel satisfied, like what does that mean for you? What aspects of you are not satisfied? And how can you nurture each aspect here and now? Right? So yeah, I was like saying I was doing the work. I dig so hard. I dig so deep. And I was like, I know I'm supported. I know I'm safe. But then there's this inner child who was like, really in a very unstable environment, and she's the one who's like, hey, can you not skip over me into like extreme abundance, because I just need stability, and I'm so used to up and down and windfalls of abundance and then rug being ripped out and miracles and then trauma. Can you help me unlock that energetic patterning, and then like I could come with you into the abundance, but like bring me with you. So felt good to kind of talk to even, I don't know if one person on here listens and like feels me and hears me, it's magical. And I think that's like a gift we all give. Other and offer space to understand one another is powerful. And to me, none of you are just followers to me. I feel seen, I feel understood, and I seek to mirror back to you that you deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard and understood. All aspects of you, the inner child within you. So, thank you. The more I get to know about these magical things, the more I get curious, and the more I feel I need to know more. So that's your mind, right? Been there. Trust me, it's okay. You're not weird. That's your mind telling you that you need to gather all of this information, or what? Your soul knows everything. Your soul knows everything. Oh, Nicole, thank you for the badge. That's really so kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, so does anyone have any other questions around this topic, or, whatever's coming up for you right now? Happy to stay on a few more minutes if you feel called. And like I said, I'll post this, so if you hopped on late, you can rewatch it. And if you feel like intuitively drawn, I do have a class that I did live last week around this. It was Quantum Inner Child class, a group of people. And it's recorded and with the PDF of the journal prompts. So it's breath work, the journal prompts, and then a guided meditation. And that's actually the meditation that I did last night to really kind of dig into this. A good place to start. So that's one place to start. Another place to start is to start, like if you look at an emotional trigger or situation, write down the feelings that are coming up around it, like feelings of unworthiness or anger or whatever. And then free write like what memories that brings up in childhood. Connect with those different ages. And write letters to them, visualize them, hug them, give them love. Benefits of the inner child healing. So I'm going to take an energetic approach. And I do have other IG lives and podcast episodes on this, so if you want to dig more in, but I'll kind of give a brief overview of how I see it and sense it. So we come into this body with an emotional body. Okay, it's a layer of energy that has been with us for lifetimes and lifetimes. So this is where the concept of karma accumulates. It's from the emotional imprints. We don't have to worry about past lives though, because then we have the ego, right? It's how we identify ourselves in relation to everything. And we're developing this ego and our emotional system in this body as children. And we are seeking to express and heal the emotional patterning. Now, when we're figuring out, like, am I worthy? Like, who the fuck am I? We have these emotional patterns playing out. And we have the limiting beliefs and trauma. They become like clusters of energy in the auric field, and then we continue to play out the same energetic blueprints. So when we go in to the quantum inner child, we get to kind of the core of these energetic blueprints. And that's where I was coming from with my personal example of there's a very deep core wound of my inner child who expects and on some level feels safe with instability, with like a really intense up, down, because that's the environment I was raised in on all levels, emotional, physical, gaslighting, and financial. So when I like connect that with an inner child, I give that inner child the space to heal. They're like cocooned. The child within, all of these little inner children are cocooned, like little cocoons. And when we go in and we like peel back the layers with love, they can bloom and become butterflies. And so, for instance, like, say an emotion comes up, an emotion that we would label shitty. We're conditioned to approach that emotion with guilt and like judgment. And those on the vibrational scale are like really low frequency, so they're just really dense. Now, if you think of the emotion, the difficult emotion that's coming up, whether it be anger, pain, sadness, abandonment, fear, so here's the icky emotion, and then you just confront it with like judgment and shame and guilt. It like stays cocooned because it's an inner child. It's not just an emotion, it's an inner child. It's an inner child's belief system that feels icky because it's not in alignment with your soul truth. So these icky, sticky emotions, they want to remember. So these inner children are like, I'm ready to be loved unconditionally, and only you, present you, with your current connection with your higher self, can do that. Only we can do that for ourselves. So it's like, it's deep work. It is not for the faint of heart, I tell you. But it's like insanely profound energy work. It's wild, and I will never stop talking about it, teaching it, creating offerings around it. Like, this is it for me. Quantum inner child work is like everything to me. Thank you for asking. Sorry, I always like forget to scroll down. When I journal, I get stuck a lot because I have memory issues of childhood. Trust that it doesn't need to be mental, right? So trust that like you don't necessarily have to pull the memory. Can you just see yourself as a child and ask what she needs, and like trust whatever emotions come up around that. I know like in trauma, a lot of people can forget instances, and I would say without like a licensed therapist or like a mental health professional, like definitely like be really mindful that like that support is often necessary. Like I have a therapist, right, who supports this work and supports a lot of the trauma. So if you don't don't push yourself to the memory, because like it's okay. Anything that's coming up in your consciousness is what needs to come up. I'm trying to take action to my desires, and I know I'm supported, and then I don't even know what's holding me back. I feel paralyzed. How do you identify these things so you can work on it? I ask the inner child who's feeling afraid to present themselves. At what age do I seek my inner child? I'm not sure if it's at the start of my traumas or not. So in my one-on-one work, a specific age always always comes up. But that's not necessary if you're doing it yourself. Like, you don't need to pin the age. You really don't. Like, I actually don't know. Well, no, I do know what age my particular inner child I was just talking to about. But like, at first it didn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would start at the surface. So like, what you're feeling now, what's coming up, what patterns are you noticing? And then just sit with her or him or they. And just trust that they'll present themselves as they need to be presented. So So I am going to hop off, but if you're diving into this work, there are multiple options for you. So one is I have a handful of one-on-one quantum intuitive inner child sessions available for you this month. Everything's in my bio. Two is I have a class recording available for you to dive into this work. 3, on my IGTV lives, I have completely free, more deep dives into the work. It's labeled like Quantum Inner Child. And just keep following along, because I'll do more lives, more meditations, more offerings. And just know that you're supported within all of this. I've asked my inner child to come to me in my dreams, but she doesn't appear. I'm getting that we just don't remember our dreams, first of all, but it's journaling. Try journaling around it. Just journal, write a letter to her, trust that she comes up as she needs to come up. I hope that helps your journey, because I do feel that this is a very important journey. I'm going to post this. Bye.